Why APC governors are failing to agree on consensus candidate for presidency. Welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. The 20 state governors elected under the umbrella of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC have failed to choose a consensus candidate for the presidency despite appeals for President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday. The governors who revel in their exalted position did not find themselves because of the stranglehold on delegates remain torn apart by the different interests. They are also being pulled apart by powerful outside forces in the first contest where Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, APC national leader Bola Tinubu, and former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi remains the front runners. Buhari is in Spain, and 3 of his ministers who will have unfettered access to the president for days, with some in APC now triggering speculations about who among the candidates the 3 ministers have been supporting. The president wants the governors to rally behind a single candidate whom Buhari has not named to succeed him, but the ideal appears to be elusive for a variety of reasons. Firstly, the governors have among the midst 4 who are themselves seeking to be the All Progressive Congress flag bearer in next year's crucial presidential election. None of the 4, including Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti, David Umahi of Ebonyi, Yaya Bello of Kogi, and Abubakar Badaru of Jigawa State, is ready to flinch. In addition, many among the state governors are angling to pick the slot of vice president, and this means that a loyalty is to the presidential aspirant, most likely to pick them as deputy. Thirdly, there is the influence of the powerful but faceless cabal at the villa, including 2 arrowheads of a group who are said to be bent on frustrating the candidacy of Osinbajo on account of the role the latter played in ending the security siege on the National Assembly on August 7, 2018, and resulting sack of a security chief fingered in that operation, which happened while the president was away on medical vacation. This cabal is believed to be responsible for the proliferation of candidates from the southern part of the country, but a grouse against Osinbajo is perhaps his greatest strength and reason why he commands support among Nigerians outside the All Progressive Congress and his Yoruba Southwest. Fourthly, there is the hitherto known 5th columnist from the north who are against candidates from the south, partly on the ground that the north should not be handing over the presidency in 2023. Finally, there are those who claim they can read the president's mind by his body language, and they count on nothing but their imagination in claiming what they know who Buhari does not want to hand over as a rock to among the contenders. For long, Buhari refrained from being forceful in his quest to shape the outcome of the presidential primaries, but a strong speech on Tuesday may have changed all that. Only time will tell if that change of fact had not come too late. After the president addressed the governors on Tuesday, all attempts they made to reach the idea of a consensus has failed, Business Day learned. With elimination of statutory delegates through a fumbled amendment to the Electoral Act, the federal legislatures handed over control to the delegates, to the governors in most cases, who in most cases, excluding Lagos, handpicked the elected delegate for their respective states. By the time the federal legislatures realized that they had elevated the state governors by silencing the so-called Abuja Brigade that includes them and other senior government officials, they made a sudden attempt to insert the clause allowing statutory delegates into the electoral bill, but Buhari failed to sign the amendment into law. One major fallout of this has been the case in many states where sitting federal legislatures were dislodged in their bid to return to the National Assembly by candidates backed by their state governors. It is unclear how Buhari will respond to allegation that by seeking to force the governors in line behind a consensus candidate, he is inadvertently rubbishing the democratic credentials of his party. Well, whatever they say, at this point in time, we are just watching them, seeing how they do everything, seeing how they are turning the so-called democracy into an anarchy or monarchical system of government, which is not supposed to be. Whether you like it or not, I am not for APC at all, but I'm saying this is wrong. Candidates cannot have bought their forms for that huge amount of money and went on to spend their resources, their time, their energy on campaigning and touring this whole state, even those who traveled outside the country, and then this is happening. I stand not for no one, but I stand for equity, fairness, and justice. This is too big, and I'm sure this does not in any way reflect the manifesto or the laws that is even guiding the so-called party. I'm not sure it reflects it one bit. APC is on the path of destruction with the proposed consensus. Okay. The only plausible reason the president waited this long to announce a preferred candidate is because he wanted to see whether Atiku will grab the PDP presidential candidate slot. For me, only Tinubu can match Atiku. If Buhari picks another candidate, APC is doomed. Well, okay, we're going to see about that. After receiving 100 million naira from 23 presidential aspirants, finally, somebody is looking from my point. From 23 presidential aspirants to go for consensus, who will bear the loss of such amount? Alhaji Sulaiman Akambi Abiola Salam. Okay. So APC governors, after picking their successors in their state, have come together to pick a candidate for presidency. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has a candidate he will unveil. So is it that the governors are looking to pitch the candidate against Muhammadu Buhari, or they are going to select a candidate for Muhammadu Buhari? This is a confusion at play if this report is credible. We are all watching them. This movie that they act, we go see the end. Whoever they pick in APC, only a foolish Nigeria that voted for APC in 2015 and 2019 will still vote for APC. I am not even interested. I'm only saying that it is actually unfair to those who have come out and picked a form that expensive, have been running around campaigning. There are some who have been campaigning since how many years ago? It's not fair. It's certainly not fair. I once said that we are the mercy of the retired juntas in Nigeria. No excuse for Northerner versus Northerner to equate unbalanced votes. If APC fields a popular Southern candidate, promoting him matters if only they are sincere. Another time, we are going to see if the Southerners have actually learned their lesson. If they are going to field the Southern candidates and maybe, do what it takes to come out. We will find out. On this note, we've come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come here the next time.